Hey guys, it's Friday morning. I went to bed last night and I was able to get to bed. Then I woke up at like 2:30 or 3 a.m. I am not honestly sure which one, but when I looked at the time, it was 3:30. And I had a really hard time going back to bed. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I was sleeping there for a few hours because I heard their alarm go off. And the next thing I know is Saphira's waking me up. So I obviously fell asleep. I think that I'm having small animal fever, if that is even a thing. First off, this morning, I was dreaming of cats, black cats, two black cats. One was like Panther, black and fluffy, but not Panther. And so I finally got to come in to my house through the window that was climbing on a tree, which, by the way, I do not have a tree outside my window. And it apparently had a yellow collar, and it was really sweet. And then I called Panther in, and Panther came running in. It was a little disorienting because Panther has been gone since 2018, but it is crazy how my brain still has the image of him and all my other cats, and it was making me miss my cats. And I was thinking this morning how, something happens and we were like, can't believe that it is happening. You're in shock, and then, however long it takes to get over the shock. Like, for example, when my pastor was killed, it took me a while. So I went to camp, came back. A drunk driver hit him, Saturday night, I think. And then got up and went to church. A friend of mine messaged me saying, hey, Pastor B was killed in a car crash. And I'm like, I think you have a typo. And he was like, nope. And so I called him, and then I was crying. I went to church, and it was, very real, and I'm still not over it. I know that everything happens for a reason, and I have not found that reason. I love him to death. So anywho, back on the subject, when one by one my cats have passed away. Of course, one sergeant, that threw me, and I still don't understand the reason for that either. And he was my baby. He was like my first cat, and I loved him to death, and everybody knew it. Everyone knew how much I loved that cat, and oh gosh, I loved him so much, and he was so sweet. And yes, he was a black cat, but I love black cats. I totally do not believe that they are bad luck. So anywho, that went through me. When Buffy died, we were expecting it because she had kidney disease, but I think she died so quickly because Sergeant had died, and they were brother and sister. At least that's my theory. And then someone asked me if I wanted a kitten, shortly after Sergeant died, and I said, yeah, hell yeah. So I got another male black cat. I'd asked for a male specifically. Pastor B actually gave him to me. They're up in heaven together. I think the next cat that I watched die was Panther. He had cancer of the throat. I don't remember the name at the top of my head, but I really thought that he was going to make it. I thought he was going to be okay, but I was in denial about the cancer, and there was really nothing that they could do. And they said the only thing to do was put him down, and I was like, no, thank you, but no. So I took him home, and then the night before he died, because he died in the morning, I picked him up, and it was my day off, and I knew that, like, when I picked him up, he wasn't even, like, if you ever have a cat, you can pick it up, and it feels light. He felt heavy, and he didn't feel even. He was sleeping, he was curled in a ball, he was not really acting himself, and I knew, I knew, I knew. But of course, you know, he didn't get bad until like way at night. Cause I wasn't sure what was gonna happen. I don't know, you know, we don't know what happens. So I think about like 11 or 12 or 1 p.m. 1 a.m. he was getting worse. And it got to the point where he was howling in pain, and I was crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't afford an emergency vet. So I decided that in the morning I was going to take him and get him put down because, you know, I didn't want him to be going through more of it. But I think he passed away by like 1:24 or 3 something. I can't remember at the top of my head. And I was shocked. Like, I mean, watching someone die is hard. I watched my grandma die. I watched Buffy die. I watched him die. It's not easy. I lost it, and I was crying, and it was a rough night. But I was thinking how when something like that happens, you're like, because you've got so used to them being in your life, it's hard to process, you know? And then, so this morning after Saphira woke me up, I dreamt that I had not just Saphira, but a small gerbil or hamster, which I have never had, and I've never really wanted. But in this dream, I named it Ballerino, and it was a boy. And oh my gosh, I really think I am having small animal fever. Like, I miss being able to pick an animal up and like love it. Like, I can't pick Saphira up. She's pretty big, you know. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I guess when I get home, I will look that up. So with that being said, I kind of got all that off my chest. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Saphira is currently licking the floor and eating hair. So I'm going to go ahead and go, and I'll see you guys later.